Hey guys, welcome back to the Cool Classic Kids Show, and today we have to talk about a game that, well, I reviewed just about a year ago at this point. I think this is the first anniversary of Marvel Spider-Man 2. Mind you, you guys are interested to see what I think of the game, because I did actually play this on the PS5 a year ago, and I streamed it. And then I gave you guys my review of the game, which happens to be the second most watched video on my channel. So if you're interested to see my genuine, honest thoughts on Marvel Spider-Man 2, you could definitely check out the review right here. But to kind of just summarize, the game is disgustingly mid. All right, it's not terrible, it's not good, it's just severely mid. It is yet another Sweet Baby Inc. game, as you can see on their website. And it feels like it. It feels so very safe, like everything else that they do at this point. But it was just announced that Marvel Spider-Man 2 arrives on PC January of 2025. So that is like 13, no, about 15 months after the official release on the PS5. And well, my personal opinion is this is a fucking waste of development time, or I guess porting time, because this is a game that's being worked on by Nexus here. So this is the Steam page for Marvel Spider-Man 2, and it's being, it's obviously a Insomniac game. They developed it. Nexus is the developer that does ports to PC for PlayStation, so they're the ones that essentially completes the PlayStation Steam library, I guess you could say. Now, I guess this is an unpopular opinion, but fuck this game. This game is so bland. It's so boring. This is a waste of time. There's so many other games that Nexus could be porting instead, like Demon Souls. It's a really popular one. Um, hey, even Astrobot I would take well over Marvel Spider-Man 2 in my personal opinion. And that could be a very unpopular opinion because I mean Astrobot's not nearly as popular, mind you, but this game, you should have just kept it on the PS5. PS5 is um a bastion of mid, honestly, and really, I think the Xbox is a bastion of failure, but the Series X, Jesus, this generation has just been so boring. And this game is a disappointment in comparison to Spider-Man 2. Keep this mid stink off the PC platform. Only port your bangers over, okay? This isn't a banger. This is a disappointing sequel to what I thought was a awesome game in Marvel Spider-Man. But to get into the details, Marvel Spider-Man 2 arrives on PC January 2025. Oh my god, these PC ports are coming faster and faster than ever. If you're on PlayStation, you're a console gremlin PlayStation fanboy, there is nothing to brag about when it comes to your platform. Your console, your piece of plastic crap is just a temporary exclusive box. A small, tiny, minute group of games are things that you have to brag about for a limited time. It is just hilarious watching PlayStation fanboys cope and seethe, knowing that PlayStation has given in to making more money. But he said, experience the latest chapter of Marvel Spider-Man franchise on PC next year. Marvel Spider-Man 2 officially coming to PC announced on the Marvel stage in New York Comic-Con today, which was technically yesterday. Our latest entry in the critically acclaimed Marvel Spider-Man franchise arrives on PC January 30th, 2025 via Steam and Epic Games Store. Wishlist now. Once again, we're happy to share PC version is being developed and optimized by our friends Nexus Software in close collaboration with Insomniac Games, PlayStation, and Marvel Games, bringing Marvel Spider-Man Remastered and Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales new audiences on PC together with Insomniac and Marvel Games. Has been a great experience for us at Nexus. So Speaking of launch, 2 editions of Marvel Spider-Man 2 will be available when it launches on PC, including the Standard Edition and Deluxe Edition. Players will also have the option to upgrade to the DDE content, similar to our upgrade path on PS5. Here's a quick breakdown of what that includes in each Marvel's Spider-Man 2 Standard Edition. The complete game, all the latest updates since Marvel Spider-Man 2 PS5 launch, including 12 new suits, new game plus, ultimate levels, new symbiote suit styles, time of day opinion options, post game achievements, action figure mode in photo mode, screen reader and audio descriptions. Marvel Spider-Man 2 Digital Deluxe Edition includes the complete game with updates listed below. 5 exclusive suits for Peter, 5 for Miles, early unlock for the Arc suit. So basically, more suits, skill points, additional photo mode items. Yeah, my personal opinion, if I was to go for this, I will not be buying this game again. I regret buying it the first time. I spent $70 on a really mid game. I will not be buying Marvel Spider-Man 2. Again, it's just a waste of money, even if it's on a better platform, obviously. But if knowing the content of what is displayed here, I'd say just the standard edition is fine. You're getting all this content right here. I think that the deluxe edition is really just overkill, unless I guess you really like one of the suits that are present there. But I mean, there's so many suits just in the base game alone. There's really no need to go the extra mile unless you really, really just gotta have it. I don't know. This is just like, ugh. I do want to support PlayStation's games coming to PC, but it's like one of those things where it's like, I'm not gonna buy games that aren't really good. And I think that the luster of just buying these games simply because PlayStation is doing the right thing by putting their games on multiple platforms is not really a viable thing anymore. But to get into even more news regarding the game, just you know, go over why the PlayStation console gremlins are kind of upset. Spider-Man 2 fans really aren't happy over the canceled DLC and post-launch support. So, these are the key takeaways. The news of Spider-Man 2 officially not having post-launch story content or any related DLC quickly spread throughout the gaming community. So as you guys know, if you played Marvel Spider-Man 1, the game had DLC. The game had DLC. To me, the DLC was... the overall story was decent, but a lot of the side content just felt kind of tossed in. Specifically, I forget the character, but the pink character that makes you do all these little, like, I don't know, like these little tests. What an annoying Screwball. Screwball freaking segments are some of the most annoying things. But I think the overall story was interesting, involving Black Cat and whatnot, her being like missing. But yeah, there's no post-launch content, and I think it's really disappointing because the game Marvel Spider-Man 2, and to be vague on spoilers, it's very vague, mind you. Marvel Spider-Man 2 went heavy on promoting Venom in the game. Like, Venom was in pretty much just about like every trailer. Venom was a focal point in the trailers just for Venom to have a very, very, very small portion in this game. And with the leaks, it is now known that there is a Venom video game in the works. And it is believed, at least from the leaks that I've seen, that essentially Venom was originally supposed to be post-launch content for Spider-Man 2, and they decided, well, why not just rip it out of the game and make it its own game? And to me, that's definitely scummy shit, especially if it's going to be like a $60 or even maybe $70 game, who knows, but people are definitely expecting more with this game. There's a lot of PlayStation console gremlins and full-on cope sessions where they won't admit that they're disappointed, but really, it is a disappointment, especially when they went so hard on promoting Venom just for him to be played for like, I don't know, like less than a half hour of a 15 or so hour video game. It is severely disappointing. If you're planning to get Marvel Spider-Man 2 for Venom, you might want to rethink that. I'm just saying, man. They said fans are understandably upset, not just because there's a lack of story content, but because there were fewer DLC suits than and other additives. And I think that the fans do have a reason to be upset. They do have a reason. I think that when you create your first game, right, you set a precedent. Like Marvel Spider-Man set a precedent of, well, this full price game is gonna come with post-launch content, it's gonna come with DLC. Like people expect that of the sequel since they looked at the original game. So it makes sense why people are upset. The hopes for DLC didn't come out of nowhere either, because as part of the massive Insomniac leaks, a roadmap along with content art was unearthed for DLC, making it more than just an idea. And that is true. The massive leaks pretty much exposed everything Insomniac was working on, at least what we believe was everything. By now, you probably heard the news that Marvel Spider-Man 2 sequel, Insomniac's original Marvel Spider-Man, will not be receiving any additional story-related content or post-launch DLC. The news of Spider-Man 2's finality came at the back of the announcement that the game would be coming to PC in late January 2025. Insomniac confirmed the details in a separate post in the PlayStation blog, dashing any remaining hopes that fans had the game's remaining plot lines and teasers being resolved. As expected, Spider-Man fans were less than enthused about the news. Taking to the Spider-Man subreddit, many shared their thoughts on what they feel was ultimately an incomplete experience. And honestly, guys, I have to be really honest with you. So with Marvel Spider-Man 1, I did get the platinum trophy for the game. I completed all the side missions. The DLC, I completed most of the screwball missions, but I couldn't be fucking bothered because they're so insufferable, really. But in terms of the main base game, I completed all of the content that was present there, and I got the platinum trophy on my PS5, well, PS4 technically. And I enjoyed the game. There were some side missions that certainly were mid, but I will say this, with Marvel Spider-Man 2, I completed the base game and I was like, I'll give it a little break and do side missions. Then I learned what the side missions were and how a lot of them push like bullshit in them. All right. That gamers don't care about. That seems to just appeal to, you know, certain people. A very small subsection of gamers who I don't really even believe are gamers. But yes, the side mission content in Marvel Spider-Man 2 is insufferable shit. So I chose not to get the platinum trophy, even though it's a very, very easy platinum trophy. I just didn't want to suffer through playing garbage side missions that are somehow worse than catching birds and stuff and finding backpacks in the first Marvel Spider-Man. They go on to say, in one thread, a fan noted that it isn't even about the story-related content, but the fact that there were fewer post-launch DLC costumes among other support updates. One fan added, yeah, this game made me really concerned for Spider-Man 3. If I do decide to get it or Wolverine, I'm probably just going to wait for a sale and look a little more into gameplay and story videos than I did with Spider-Man 2 instead of pre-ordering again. And this is a crucial comment, guys. So you have to understand, there was a time where I think everyone believed in Insomniac entirely. Like, I gave them the complete benefit of the doubt. I had zero issue with Insomniac. They are very hard workers. I enjoyed Marvel Spider-Man 1. I really enjoyed Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I enjoyed the Ratchet and Clank remake back on PS4. I think that they were a phenomenal developer, and I had zero issue with them at all. They knew how to make fun video games. But then with Marvel Spider-Man 2, they have definitely changed their direction. They have definitely leaned in ways that are not what gamers want. And that's what is so frustrating. A company, a game developer that completely understood, all of a sudden, just went down this stupid route. I don't know what else to say. between dealing with Sweet Baby Inc. Um, and this was early on when Sweet Baby Inc. was kind of we discovered what they were about, but being involved with them, refusing to accept feedback from fans in regards to, well, like Mary Jane missions, for example. They knew that gamers hated these things and they're just like, well, we don't care. We're just going to double down and try and make them better. And it's like, why don't you just remove this from a video game that centers around superheroes? Because Mary Jane is not a superhero. Just really garbage decisions. And now we're dealing with a situation in which Insomniac, I'd have to think that maybe they're just being overworked to the point where they can't really complete games anymore. They're selling $70 games that have storylines incomplete, that are lesser than the predecessor games, which cost less. Marvel Spider-Man 1 was a $60 game and a complete game at that. But to really just hammer it down, there was a time where people believed in Insomniac without question, and now gamers have to be very weary of them. I mean, there's other developers that are far worse, obviously, but their prestige is now dulled. They said, indeed, the eventual Spider Man 3 will have a lot of storylines to weave through, including Cindy Moon, aka Silk. Another fan chimed in, adding, I could forgive the lack of post game content if the story was really strong, but yeah. And they go on to show what the DLC, well, the future for Spider Man 2. Um, and yeah, not only was the DLC in the works, but an actual content roadmap was unearthed. That roadmap was 3 separate DLC storylines, including one centered around Beetle, Carnage, and the Spider-Verse additional suits and spider bots are also seemingly part of those plans that no longer exist. That is wild. Yeah, I'd have to think that Insomniac is just overworked. They have like 3 different games that are in production or just planned. They have been releasing game after game after game, and while most of Sony studios are really just kind of no shows this generation, or they're just taking forever to release games, Insomniac has been the opposite. But yeah, people think I'm crazy when I criticize Insomniac, and I don't want to. I wish that they would just conduct themselves the way that they used to. But there's a lot of issues, man. Spider-Man 2 is a mid game. It is a disappointment to me personally, and if you want to know why, obviously check out my review of the game. I did play through the main story, and I was disinterested in really going forward and doing the DLC because it is not a good game. And I shouldn't be forced to torture myself. But was an overpriced game, incomplete content, a roadmap that was supposed to include more content that didn't pan out, and really now this mid game is coming to PC. So we have PlayStation 5 stench on the PC that really is unwanted. And I think at this point, Sony, they pay so much for that Marvel license that they're desperate to make that money back. That's why this is a really, really, really fast PC port, man. Just 15 months after the PS5 release. I mean, what is the point of a PS5 anymore, really? But yeah, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. If you can, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me over on Twitter. If you'd like to continue the conversation at Mario Kart, consider becoming a channel member. Gets you instant access to the Discord, gets you cool emotes for the Thursday night live stream where the insanity persists. So definitely tune into that this Thursday, 8 p.m. EST. And yeah, if you guys can hit the bell notification, YouTube is just weird. And if you want to know when my videos come out, because obviously you're subscribed to me. So I make videos that I want you to see. I have videos that you want to see. So hit the bell notification, really helps me out. And yeah, guys, with all being said, I'm out. Peace.